Hey everybody, this is Jennifer at Creative Art Spark, and I'm very glad that you decided to join me today. I'm going to try a technique that I saw the Serene Stamper do, and we're going to see how this works. I'm using some stamps that I got from Amazon. If I turn them the right way, you might see them better as Christmas stamps. And I've got my Misty out, and I've got my VersaFine Clair ink, and I've got my spray bottle. Okay, I'm going to spray down my watercolor paper. I'm going to ink up my stamps, I should say. I'm building a scene. Now, I haven't tried this, so we're going to learn together. I'm going to spray my stamp, and I'm going to ink. And I'm going to ink it up and do it again. And I'm going to spray a little more, and I'm going to tilt it some in my Misty. And now I'm going to dry it. I needed to have gotten some paper towels, didn't I? Okay, blot that up a little bit. Uh-oh, my magnets just stuck together. Teresa, I do have them, whatchamacallit, I've got washi tape on them this time. Should have had that done a long time ago. Okay, we're going to restamp. This is not wanting to stamp, or not wanting to ink. Alright, we're going to spray that again. Get it good and wet. And we're going to stamp. Maybe my paper didn't move. Alright, that's more what I'm looking for. Okay. Let's dry this up. Let's spritz that again. And now let's get our hand dryer out. And let's do a little drying. Now let's think about this. Let's take a little bit of Luster Pigments, and when I was cleaning up a minute ago, I saw, yeah, there we go. Just a little bit. Put the lid on it so we don't have an accident. Let's mix that up. Oh, that's all I need, is that soaking up my ink. Okay, now paint brush. course, I never have one handy. We'll just dip this. We'll do this. And we'll flick. Maybe. No, I guess we won't. We'll just double it on here, and then we'll spray again. I'm just playing. Remember, I am just playing. This is not, this is practice for if I do my Christmas cards like this. See what happens if I do that. Woo! Now that's kind of neat. You can't even see what I did. I stuck my dauber in the wet luscious powders, and I painted my stamp and stamped. That looks pretty cool, actually. Okay, let's continue up here. Let's play with this nighttime sky, because that's what this is going to be. Right, let's spray that again. Swirl that on out. We can bring it down here. Okay. Now let's dry. Probably not a good stamp to be drying. She did her video in several stages, and I probably should have done that, but you know, I'm too impatient. She stamped hers and then let them dry completely, and then put it back in and stamped again. And I didn't do that. What I will do, I think, I'm going to mark. Okay, I have this right there. All right, let's take it out of the MISTI and dry it. It's dropping the back. Oh, I didn't mean to hit the camera. Sorry about that. This is going to be, let me fold this over. It's going to be kind of warpedy, but that's okay too, because this is just an experiment. Okay, let's see what that does. How dry is that? It's pretty dry. Nothing ran like I thought it would. Probably would if you sprayed it. Yep. Okay. We're going to put this back in here. And now we're going to stamp again, only this time, oh, I just knocked my stamp loose. Okay. Back to what I was saying. This time, and I don't know that that's matched up completely, this time we're gonna not blur it. We're gonna see what happens, because I'm not so sure about this technique. Well, I don't know. It's kind of neat. And it's, well, that really worked well, Jennifer. Kind of neat in its own way. Let's see. Okay. It didn't do exactly like hers did. So I'm kind of disappointed in one sense, but in another, that's a pretty unusual card front. So let's take our trimmer. Let's cut a little bit off the bottom. Let's cut a little bit off the top. Well, we're not through with the trimmer yet. Okay. Let's cut us a square that is, all right, this one is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So we're going to do 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to need to trim off a little more. So let's bring this. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's take our little glue press. I'm going to have to adjust my camera. I've moved it all around and I've played with the imagery on it as far as colors and all of that, and I may have to readjust it. It looks a little dark. But let's see here. Probably get my head in the way. pretty good. All right. Now let's take this. You know something? Seeing that in card form, I kind of like that. It's not as dreamy looking as Serene Stampers was, but I like it. I actually do like it. And I'm thinking of these as my mass make. So I could stamp a bunch of them. And then let them dry. And I could do about 10 a day. And in 5 or 6 days, I have my card done. What do you think? I kind of like that. All right. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'm thinking about playing with some colored inks with it, like yellows for the star and browns. I'm thinking about just playing around with it. But overall, as a card, as a more artistic looking card, I rather like that. Yes, I do. I didn't get glued on straight. I never do. I'll have to work me up a template. Alrighty, thank you for joining me. As always, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting, and even sharing this video. I'd love to see my channel grow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.